So apparently you guys liked me watching FNAF stuff, especially the one with FNAF being made today, with it being all planned out with lore, story, and gameplay and mechanics. So why not watch part 2 by the same guy, the UnwitheredTruth, and apparently 5 more other creators have worked on this with him. So if you guys enjoyed the video, be sure to leave a like on the video and subscribe to the channel. But anyways, let's get on to the video.
In my last video, I went through exactly what a reboot of the first FNAF game would look like if I were in the driver's seat of the franchise.
I hope that it turns into a real game.
That video has been overwhelmingly positive, and so I thought I'd waste no time and hop right into a sequel. You guys had a lot of thoughts regarding some of the changes and updates I made to the first game, so I tried to keep all that feedback in mind when tackling the second game. In case you missed my first of these reboot videos, I'm going to reiterate that this reboot universe that I'm making is drawing inspiration from, but not beholden to, the old lore. Any references made to classic FNAF games or books are done for fun and also to use them as building blocks for a new lore, which hopefully feels a little more cohesive as it's being planned from the very beginning. So if there's something here which is inaccurate to the original, rest assured that it's a change I'm making intentionally, and that very much applies to this game, as this one is going to be a much more severe overhaul than the first video. Anyway, without further ado, let's jump into the sequel to FNAF Anniversary, which I'm going to call Five Nights at Freddy's Heyday.
Heyday. Okay, yeah, that actually makes sense for a name, because FNAF 2 was a prequel, so I'm guessing that this is also a prequel to the first game. And, you know, back in the heyday, you know, so we're probably going to learn more stuff about the past. So we're probably going to run to, like, because we learned about the missing children's incident in the last game through the video game, so maybe this would go more in depth in that with that, and maybe we'll learn more story about William. Maybe we'll get to see some reference more about William, because apparently he's in this story.
Good evening. We notice you're here after hours. Putting in the overtime, eh? Good for you. Afton Robotics always appreciates the hard work and dedication of its employees. It seems that you're attempting to perform maintenance on Error. Would you like a hand with that? Good. Glad to be of assistance. If you have followed procedure, Error should be waiting on the platform upstairs. Please activate the retrieval button on the maintenance console to get started.
Oh, what the fuck? That's supposed to be Freddy? Or is that supposed to be Golden Freddy? He looked, to me, he looks more brown. So I think that's regular Freddy, but all the blood splatter all over it makes me think that is Golden Freddy. That, like after he got stuck, after Cassidy got stuffed in it.
Are you sure you wish to continue? Okay, let's get started. First, please proceed with any required maintenance and/or cleaning.
Added Freddy parts.
Good job. Looks good as new. Before we send back on stage, we must ensure the animatronic is functioning as intended.
I guess it can be Freddy.
Your phase remote to the maintenance console. If you do not have a phase remote or fail to connect one in the next 10 seconds, that means you should not be here and the authorities will be contacted. Good job. On your remote, 3 buttons should have engaged. The first is a prompt button, which will test animatronic responses to external stimuli, to ensure our latest and greatest animatronic toys remain fully operational during showtime. Between prompts, be sure to use your second button to activate your phase remote's inbuilt flashlight and shine it directly at the animatronic's eye sensors. This will initiate a soft reset to prepare the animatronic for the next prompt.
But they don't have eyes.
Animatronics are considered heavy machinery. If the animatronic is
that's one thing is Golden Freddy, because it doesn't have eyes. Because Golden Freddy didn't have eyes in his, but regular Freddy did.
This should promote a hard reset on all internal systems. But be careful, more than 3 resets in a single maintenance session can damage equipment. So it's best to play it safe and report any failed maintenance to your supervisor. To begin animatronic responses, please choose an appropriate sound prompt package from the list provided on your maintenance panel. You have chosen Error. Press the prompt button on your phaser mode to proceed. document results on your maintenance panel. Let's try again, shall we? Press the prompt button to cycle to the next item in your prompt package.
Looked like he moved a little bit.
Please use the flashlight as
oh yeah, you definitely
document
moved
results on your maintenance panel.
What? Hold up. Nah, hold up. He didn't have eyes before. Was those human eyes? Those look like human eyes. Oh god, no. Unless that is his regular eyes and they're just super detailed. And they looked right back at me. Yeah, nah, I'm good.
Looks like that didn't have the intended response. Let's try again, shall we? Press the prompt button to cycle to the next item. You have used more than the advised 3 shocks. Please submit this maintenance report so you may be appropriately reprimanded. Thank you for submitting your report. Punishment will be doled out swiftly.
Damn, you got
Please
fired?
clock out and return home. We probably won't be seeing you again, so just in case, thank you for your mediocre service and have a fantastic life.
Why is the AI an asshole?
Maintenance minigames. This style of gameplay was first introduced to the series back in Sister Location. In that game, it was Funtime Freddy's maintenance section, and it became a huge aspect of the sequel Pizzeria Simulator in the salvage minigames. If you're familiar with the latter, you'll know I'm taking heavy inspiration from that game for this one, and if you're worried about using too many of these elements too early in the series, I can assure you that if I ever get to rebooting Pizza Sim or Sister Location, I'll make sure to update those minigame sections to make sure these parts don't feel redundant. The reason I decided to use this scenario as the opening for the game is for...
So that was normal Freddy, because like now it's Bonnie here and he's covered in blood, so this must be right after the missing children incident where he stuffed them in the suits. Okay, so that was Freddy, and this is Bonnie.
A couple of reasons. First of all, the player is introduced to a few gameplay elements before they're required to use them in the base game, which we'll talk about those more in detail in the next few sections. Chica. And secondly, this is a tone setter for both our characters and the world. This cold, bureaucratic treatment of things that are supposed to elicit wonder and excitement in children is off-putting, especially when there's obviously a lot more going on here than we may first realize. As with the first video, more will be revealed in the lore chapter later, but for now, let's talk a bit more about this new and improved Freddy's that our reboot will take place in.
Freddy's.
In the original FNAF 2, the pizzeria was lauded as a new location, much larger than the first game's map, with new state-of-the-art technology and overall an improvement in the company. So the first change that I'm making is that for story reasons, I thought it would work if the FNAF Heyday building and the FNAF Anniversary building were actually the same one, just many years apart. To make this idea work, I ended up going backwards from my Anniversary map layout to design this new building from many years earlier. Obviously, FNAF 2 is a much larger location, so I needed to keep the base of the future map and expand it outwards. So, for example, what will eventually become the security office and the prize counter was once an entryway to the pizzeria, which wraps around a serving counter in the dining hall, connected to the kitchen, which remains in place. Okay. There's also a designated employee lounge next to these spaces for floor and kitchen staff to relax on their break. The dining hall remains mostly as it was, but the main stage, which exists from an even earlier version of the pizzeria, has been cordoned off, and the new main stage is to the right of the room. Where Pirates Cove and the wraparound arcade will someday stand is actually the location of this game's security office, which looks out onto the dining hall. Parts of the building which are left unutilized in 1993 actually expand this space into becoming a set of hallways which lead to new bathrooms, 3 party rooms, a secondary kitchen, specifically used for private parties, and the manager's office. The safe room is also yet to be cordoned off, so it's now accessible from both sides, one door to the back room and the others to the manager's hallway. Considering our restrooms are located down here now, we have this space behind the stage which is going to be converted into the new Kids Cove and arcade spaces. Oh, and because we're going to be situated in the new security office off here to the left, we're going to be looking at the pizzeria from this perspective. Of course, we can't get a real feel for this new pizzeria without actually jumping in and seeing what it looks like for ourselves. FNAF 2's gameplay loop is one which is both reviled and revered depending on who you ask. Obviously, the original game introduced us to the 5 new animatronic threats and removed our familiar defenses from the first game. While in concept, I really like the idea of bombarding the player with new threats, in execution, there's very little which set each of these animatronics apart. Now, some people's approach to redesigning FNAF 2 is to give all the animatronics all unique mechanics, but I find that there are simply too many new animatronics to do that for. So, instead, I thought that giving the player new defenses and stronger threats would be an interesting way to go about tackling this game's fresh cast of animatronics. But why listen to me ramble on when I could have the man himself tell you?
Oh, so you're staring right at him.
Hello? Hey, Jerry, it's Ralph. If you're hearing this, it means I've figured out this voicemail thing. You know, new renovations, new systems, and hey, new night guard. It all went smoothly today.
Ain't
for the
no way
openings.
that little fucker is sitting there staring at me in right next to my hallway. Ain't no fucking way.
So let's hope that continues with your shift. I'll be honest with you.
I will drop
this
kick
place
that
can be pretty
motherfucker.
boring, but uneventful is exactly what we're going for. Now, apologies for this, but I gotta do the whole manager thing, you know. Hello and welcome to the new and improved Freddy Fazbear's Pizza, a magical place for kids and grown-ups alike where fantasy and fun come to life. Congratulations on your new summer job as a nighttime security guard. This building has been fitted with state-of-the-art security and surveillance technology, which has been designed to assist you in defending and maintaining Fazbear Entertainment property. And yourself, obviously. They didn't write that. I'm adding that. All of these security features are accessible to you through your Afton Robotics patented Handycam unit. Our new line of animatronic performers also serve as Fazbear certified technological officiators of youth security, also known as toys. I swear they always come up with the name before the acronym. Sorry.
That's right. In this game, the toys are on our side and serve as our main defenses.
I honestly
withers.
spaced out during that. I did not realize. I would have realized sooner. So the toys are defending you, so you're not going up against them. They're protecting you, but protecting you from what? The old models?
Now, we'll discuss this full office overhaul in a minute, but for now, let's focus on how these toys work.
Our new line of toys can be directed through your Handycam unit to obstruct or distract any potential threats to Fazbear property. Yeah, there's just a bunch of technobabble after that, so I'll skip over it. Basically, Bonnie and Chica make a bunch of noise, and Freddy deals with threats head-on.
Using your camera map, you can move the toys animatronics from room to room, where each will carry out their own specific function. As Ralph mentioned, Toy Bonnie and Chica make a lot of noise, which you might be able to guess means they act as lures. Each toy...
Oh, so they are kind of like the defense, how it works in FNAF 3, where FNAF 3 used audio lures to lure Springtrap around, but this time you're using the toys. And he said only Bonnie and Chica can do that. So, and Toy Freddy takes them head on. So what, does Toy Freddy just sit there and just perk up and just knock their ass out?
It has a short cooldown, which means you can't just spam them from room to room. So
they
you
have
have
a
to be more
cooldown,
strategic
okay.
about their placement. Bonnie and Chica also only lure their withered counterparts, so you can't use them to completely disable all animatronics.
Oh, okay. So Toy Chica works for Chica and Toy Bonnie works for Bonnie.
We'll make sure the toys are only active when their respective wizards are out and about, so Toy Freddy won't be in use until Freddy gets up from the safe room. Speaking of Freddy...
Damn. Freddy kind of spazzy.
You're my friend. You're not supposed to be in here.
Damn, Freddy
Now,
actually
you might be wondering
squabbles
what
with
inspired
it.
this change, and it was honestly my rejection
Freddy
of
got the
FNAF
hands.
2's lack of importance in the cameras. In the original game, the puppet's music box required the player to only ever stay on that camera in later nights, and there wasn't honestly much need to know where the animatronics were. As long as you were ready to put on your mask, you could pretty much...
Wait, so the puppet is in this game too, but in the last game, Freddy played his music to keep the puppet at bay, but now that the puppet's here and that Freddy is now sitting here actually going against you, not playing music, do we have a music box in this game or no?
avoid each of the animatronics besides Foxy, and he's down the end of the hall, so you're almost encouraged not to go on the cameras too often. With Heyday's toys system, the player needs to keep track of the wizards and make sure that they're managing their defenses well. They have
Let's see. FNAF 2 puppet mechanic negates camera system. Yeah, because you really only needed to stay on that camera just to wind up the music box. Withers and slash toys operate identically. Mask means no need to track any threats. Yeah, because they can just literally come into your office and sit there, stand there, and you just pull your mask on and then it just disappear. And you don't need to look at any cameras to keep track of them, because they'll show up at the hallway, they'll show up at the either side of the vents. And the only camera you really need is the music box one.
to be ready to move Toy Freddy into Withered Freddy's paths, or to set Bonnie up nearby Withered.
Let me see. Heyday. Toys require the player to keep track of the wizards, so that means you actually have to keep track of them and use the cameras, not stay on one. Withers/toys are now opposing forces, like he just explained. Toys are on your side and you're going against the withers.
To make sure that he's slowed down on his way to the office. If the animatronics ever do make their way to the office, we're keeping our mask and flashlight mechanics intact.
Mask and flashlight are rebalanced to make them
console,
crutch.
The player can retrieve their Faz remote from the maintenance section and use the flashlight to stall animatronics that make it to the hallway. This console can also be used to charge the flashlight, as it will have a lot less battery than in the original version. In the event that the animatronics ever actually make it to the office, we can pop on an old Bonnie mask. I wonder where that came from.
Oh, so it's not a Freddy mask, it's a Bonnie mask and it's bloody.
And wait for the animatronics to go about their business. Taking some inspiration from the unreleased dev version of FNAF 2, this mask mechanic has a timer, meaning you can't just hide in the mask forever. This also encourages the player to handle the threats before they make it to the office, as if they get too close and you have to wait for multiple animatronics to leave, you'll probably not last very long in the mask, considering it's a very musty, moldy, not made for human respiratory systems animatronic face.
I honestly doubt you'll have need for most of the security stuff. Worst I ever had to deal with on the night shift were some bored teens trying to make trouble. Ended up using a Freddy mask to blend in with the merchandise until they left. Yeah. I was never much cut out for the security office. But, hey, I'm sure you'll do much better. Okay, Jerry, it's been a long day, so I'm gonna catch some shut-up.
Jerry?
If you need anything, just let me know by tomorrow night, and we'll sort it out. Okay, good night. Oh, and, have a fantastic shift.
Funtime and Foxy.
Both the Mangle and Withered Foxy are some of the most iconic elements to come out of FNAF 2, with Foxy's light sensitivity and Mangle's mangledness. First of all, let's discuss our poor, disassembled pink and white friend, Mangle. If you've seen my sister location theory video, you'll know that I proposed that this toy Foxy wasn't a toy at all, but instead a holdover from the previous location. Understand that this will be the case for my reboot timeline. This version of Foxy isn't actually a Foxy at all, but instead a new member of Freddy and Friends named Funtime the Fox.
Funtime's supposed to be more kid-friendly and able to be played with, so she's a bit more malleable. Any amount of force just causes her to pop apart. Stops them from crushing any kids that might get caught in the joints. Not that that would ever happen, of course. At least, not again.
Uh-oh. Referencing the bite.
The Mangle, technically not being a toy, isn't controlled by our camera systems. The Mangle's first function is to act as a sort of anti-toys character. When the Mangle is in a room, that camera will be glitched and full of static, just letting us catch glimpses of the twisted mess of animatronic parts. This also means that the toys cannot be sent to that room. This will lead to moments where the player wants to send Bonnie or Chica toys into these rooms, but is blocked by the Mangle. The player either then has to wait it out and hope the wizards don't move closer, or they have to improvise an alternative strategy.
Staff was supposed to put him back together at the end of every shift, but I guess people got lazy. Obviously, we can fix her up for the opening,
you had to sit every day, you had to sit there and put that one animatronic back together?
Well, the staff calls it the Mangle. Names like that tend to stick. Anyway, those vents in your office are rigged with motion triggers. If anything does set off the sensors, just tap the lit up button and it should scare off.
Oh, so Mangle comes through the vents. Okay.
They're scampering through. I'm told it's a pest control measure. A bit overboard if you ask me.
I ain't gonna lie, so far all the stuff he's said that's our mechanics in this game. It does sound cool, but it sounds like a lot. Like, I thought FNAF 2 was somewhat a lot because you have to flash Foxy, you have to sit there and check vents, check hallway, put on a mask when you're in danger, worry about the music box. I thought that was a lot, but now there's all this new mechanics and stuff. When this comes out as a game, I'll sit here and struggle until I get it. Like, it seems on paper that it looks like it's hard, but it's probably easy as hell. But I know I'm probably going to struggle at first.
As the nights go on, Mangle will try and make its way through the vents toward us more frequently and will move more quickly, making it a mad dash to zap her before she makes it into the office.
Mangle becomes more aggressive.
If the player isn't quick enough to
progress.
catch him with these controlled shots.
Oh. So you actually had to be on timing.
Obviously, we have no toys equivalent to deal with our shy pirate friend, so instead, we're going to have to deal with him in another way once he activates on night 3. In this game, the front office door from the original has been replaced with a large window. Throughout the night, the player will catch glimpses of a shadowy Foxy progressing his way through the diner area closer and closer to the player. The player will have to be prepared to flip the switch next to the office window to turn on the main lights, which will freeze the pirate fox in place. This way, we keep our light sensitivity for Foxy intact without losing his more unique approach.
So he still has his light.
It's also a subtle reference to the fun with plush trap minigame.
Instead of it being, you just have to flash him multiple times, it'll freeze him in place, and I guess he'll just go back to where he was. All right.
From FNAF
you just gotta see that motherfucker move, just go and catch him.
Which I always thought was quite cool. This version is definitely less punishing than that game, with a much larger window, pardon the pun, to catch Foxy in. Hitting the light switch too early will mean the player loses access to it for a short time, indicated by the power box.
The breaker switch will be temporarily disabled if you hit it at the wrong time. Okay, makes sense.
Again, another pun.
So you don't
Sorry.
can't
Honestly,
just
we don't want
spam
that
it.
to happen, as if Foxy gets too close and we don't have the switch to shut him down.
Damn. Fucking Foxy, push out the way. He said, "Out the way, bitch. It's my turn." Oh, the puppet.
The puppet, one of my favorite FNAF characters, and also my least favorite element of the original FNAF 2. As terrifying and intriguing as she was back in 2014, the puppet's mechanics in the original game left a lot to be desired. I think, in concept, this ever-looming threat, which is only a few ticks of the music box away from unleashing hell on the player, is really cool. But in execution, as mentioned before, the player is forced to stay on the prize corner cam if they ever want to stand a chance of surviving the later night.
It's always kind of been like that for almost every FNAF game that had cameras. I think like the first 3, because FNAF 1. You had to keep the camera on Foxy and Freddy later on down the road because they did not like being watched on the cameras, and it stalled them there. FNAF 2, it had the prize counter where you had to sit there and wind up the music box. And FNAF 3, if I remember right, it was you had to sit there and either have the camera far away from your office, or if he got near to your office, like at the window, you had to go to the camera that was next to it for like the rest of the night. So I think it's always kind of been like that. I know when it comes out as a game, people are gonna find a way to cheese this, but it's cool to see that you're trying to make the game as interactive as possible and not just be the same strat over and over again.
This mechanic obviously can't remain in this new version of the game, at least not without some alterations. I considered leaving the puppet to only appear on night 5, similarly to how I treated Golden Freddy in the first game, but honestly, this game is going to be our only real opportunity in the series for the puppet to act as a main antagonist.
The puppet should be given the spotlight in some unique way without limiting her role in the game. Her threat must be maintained along with the general concept of her mechanic
against our player, so I don't want to waste her. How then am I going to handle the puppet in FNAF Heyday? Well, on night 2, Ralph has this to say.
You may have noticed the ceiling rails around the building. Those are actually a remnant of a previous restaurant. One of the old characters used them to get around. Now, that particular animatronic was supposed to be deactivated, but the technicians always had a hard time keeping it deactivated. So instead we found a way to repurpose it to dole out prizes in the arcade. To keep it functioning, though, it needs to come out of its box every now and then to glide around so its servos don't lock up,
camera's shaking,
which it
though.
does at night. Yeah, look, before it was a gift giver, it was sort of a precursor to the current security bots. Thing is, it was always a bit more aggressive. Considering you're there after hours, the old programming might mistake you for an intruder. So if you ever find it approaching the office, just use the music box system on your camera feed to stall it. For some reason, the lullaby sort of neutralizes AI for a while.
It still has a music box
Just make sure you keep
system.
an eye on it in case it moves. It's best not to let it get to the office.
I think this system for the puppet keeps the same spirit as the old version, while making sure the player still has to use the camera systems to their full extent. The puppet is much easier to keep in place than the other animatronics, but
The player does not need to stay on the puppet's camera to utilize the music box. Okay,
away from its current position will mean it's one step closer to nabbing the
puppet
player.
will still move
This
throughout
ups
the night,
tension
but the
and
player
means
can
the player
slow
will
it
be
down enough to
panicking more and
stop
more
it
as the
reaching
puppet's
the
inevitable
office.
crawl.
Oh, okay. So the music box isn't like a, it keeps it deactivated. It's like it's just a staller. So that means it still moves towards you, but the music box just slows it down. Okay.
Towards us progresses. Now, you might be
That's why I
wondering,
said it
what
doesn't
will
have to be
stop
on the
players
cam
from just
to
keeping the
use it?
camera on the puppet the same way as they did in FNAF 2? Well, not much, honestly, but the point is that the rest of the camera system is equally as important. As mentioned before, the withered still have to be monitored throughout the night, so yes, while you can sacrifice using the cameras to keep the puppet at bay, it means you're not able to deal with the other threats as efficiently.
Okay.
The most effective strategies require a balancing act of the cameras on all your threats, not just the puppet like in the original game. At least that's the idea. Those are all of our animatronic threats and defenses, so now let's move on to...
Hey, what about Balloon Boy?
Balloon Boy. Yeah, so in all honesty, I was really struggling to implement Balloon Boy in an interesting way for this game. My struggle was less to do with mechanics and more so how to implement him into the world in a diegetic way which made sense. I've settled on the following, but leave ideas down below if you think there's a more interesting way for him to be utilized. So, considering FNAF 2 actually introduces us to both Balloon Boy and JJ, the latter admittedly in a smaller role, I thought we might as well give them both a purpose. We've got two balloon characters, and two doors either side of us. So in either hallway, BB and JJ are situated in slumped positions. Like the other toys, these two are actually here to help, in the most annoying way possible. Throughout the night, both characters have balloons which slowly fill with air. Side note, I know JJ isn't really balloon related in the original series, but anyway, once filled, these characters will hold onto their balloons until another animatronic enters their respective hallway, at which point... This is a warning system for players who are keeping too close of an eye on their cameras.
So he's a little fucker. Instead of being a little fucker that sits there and tries to murder you, like helps out trying to murder you, he's a little fucker that helps out by annoying you, saying that, hey, there's a stranger in the hallway. Okay.
Or as a way to help out players struggling with the mechanics. Or, and this is my favorite part, as a way to startle even the most locked in players.
Okay, so the first night is never usually that bad.
Yeah, Markiplier.
Once these balloons are gone, they're gone. You could potentially have a system where they replenish, but I don't want it to become a case that you just have to wait for the balloons to pop throughout the night to know where the animatronics are. Anyway, no.
The system is not able to be replenished and thus cannot act as a crutch for poor management in other game mechanics.
Now that those little mechanics are out of the way, let's discuss how everything comes together on night 5.
So it was like a once-in-a-lifetime warning during that night. It's like, hey, you were caught lacking. Pay attention. That's it. Non-canon
Night 5 starts as the prior 4 have, a call from Ralph addressed to Jerry. Except this time, Ralph's not alone.
Hey, Jerry?
I
wanted
forgot
to
you
call
were
and let
Jerry.
you know that after your shift, I'll need you to pull all the day and nighttime security footage from earlier this week. I can't say much, but there's been somewhat of an investigation going on. Nothing to worry about, just routine stuff.
Yeah, no problem. Whatever, man. Hey,
Oh,
look, I'm really
we
glad you
actually
called.
respond.
Did someone turn on those old robots in the back?
Like the originals? I don't think so. Why, what's up?
Look, I know this is gonna sound crazy, but they're not in the back room anymore.
What?
They're moving around the place.
On their own?
Yeah, look, I don't know why or how, but the duck seemed like it was trying to get into the office and...
Chica's a chicken, Jerry. Hence in the name.
Whatever. Look, I used the new one to keep her away like you said on the voicemails, but she's still coming closer.
Hey, keep calm. Everything will be alright. I know those old ones can look a bit spooky, but there's honestly nothing to worry about. Even if they did make it to the office, they'd probably just sing you happy birthday.
I don't know, man. They're freaking me out. Oh, God. Freddy's gone. He's... Okay. Whew, he's just standing there. Ralph, I think you were right. He's kind of cute up close. Not really. Oh. Wait. What's coming out of its eyes?
Suddenly, the phone cuts off with another ring. We answer.
Hello? Hey, sir. Hope your first week is going well. Sorry I haven't gotten a chance to call before now. Things have been a bit hectic on my end.
Ralph, I've been listening back to your
calls shit, we're William.
From last... Oh! Sorry, sir. I didn't realize they were still on the system. I thought it got wiped every week.
Evidently not. Why are you interrupting my night, Ralph?
Right. Well, pardon my asking, sir, but what on earth are you doing there? Didn't you get the memo?
What memo?
The building is on total lockdown.
And the call is recycled because the call, he used this in the last video. He used this call. But instead he cut it out so because it was William. That's why. All right.
The investigation has gotten really out of hand. They're saying someone might have used one of the old spring suits. You know, we have a couple in the back. And I want to say, sir, that I made it very clear that nobody's supposed to touch them. But they're saying, if someone did use one, it might have something to do with all the recent reports.
I'm aware, Ralph. I've been speaking with the police.
I doubt this is what you want to hear, but they're saying we're probably gonna have to end up closing for a while. With all the panic and the new animatronics acting up, it's probably for the best. I promise I'll handle everything best I can. But for the time being, I recommend you finish your shift and try not to touch anything. It might contaminate evidence. I'll call you in the morning and update you. Just please don't touch anything. Okay. Good night.
Suddenly the phone becomes garbled. The console on the desk spurs to life.
Attention. Power levels unstable. The following systems are experiencing malfunctions. Music box, toys remote communication systems, Chica, Bonnie, Freddy.
The others are under my protection.
Oh shit. So we're up against a puppet in Night 5 this time instead of a Golden Freddy.
How you squirm with no protection at all.
Oh shit, it's a fucking boss
The
battle. We're
animatronic
up against
toys
everything.
can't help you any longer.
Oh fuck no. Back up, cuh.
Now, I didn't just throw 3 random threats at you in the last night of the game without any extra way of dealing with them. So throughout the night, the animatronics will one by one be reactivated for a moment, and you have to move them away from the office. Then they'll go back under the puppet's control and continue moving back towards you.
Yeah, see, like I said, that looks like a lot to sit there and take, to pay attention to. You have to be actually locked in.
All the while, we've still got the Wizards approaching us, and the puppet will slowly be moving closer to the office. She's preoccupied by controlling the toys, so she's much slower than on other nights, but her advancement is clear and direct. Eventually, the puppet reaches the office by 6 a.m.
You shouldn't have come back.
Oh, damn.
So,
Children avenged. Yellow rabbit killer found dead. Oh, we were playing as William. We were playing as William on night 5. That's why she said you should have never come back. Oh.
Obviously, this isn't the canon outcome for the game, just a what-if scenario that our player is privy to without discovering the true secrets buried deeper within this game's lore. And speaking of which...
Lore. Okay, so now we're getting to the lore part.
Much like the first video in this series, I want to try and keep the original spirit of FNAF 2's story intact, though as you can probably already tell, I have some much bigger changes in mind regarding this game's story. One thing eagle-eye viewers of the last video may have noticed was that in the Flashback Arcade minigames, the walls of the MCI pizzeria were plastered with posters of the toy animatronics. And yet, they still maintained the June 1985 date of the original series Killing Spree. While some thought this might be a mistake, this is actually my first major change to the lore. In this new Reboot universe, the MCI still occurs in 1985, but the pizzeria is the same one as we see here in FNAF Heyday. Now, why did I make this change? Well, in FNAF 2, we were introduced for the first time to William Afton, or as we knew him back then, the Purple Guy. Throughout the first set of minigames, we are shown exactly how William went about committing the MCI, Charlie's murders, and, well, this treat of a minigame, Save Them. While there is still debate to this day as whether or not Save Them is depicting a second set of murders, that was most certainly the most popular interpretation of these secrets at the time. And as impactful as that game tries to make these victims, it seems that going forward, regardless of the original intent, Scott decided to leave this minigame in the dust. There are no references beyond FNAF 2 to the DCI, at least in any direct way. Sorry, Left 2 DCI. So, in my reimagining, I decided to leave the DCI on the cutting room floor and merge it and the MCI together. This also gives William the opportunity to stuff the kids into their respective suits, as the Wizards aren't on stage.
Okay, so FNAF 2, seemingly 2 sets of murder. 1, missing children incident, 1985. 2, dead children incident, 1987. MCI were stuffed into the classics and become the Withers. DCI haunt the toys. Okay, so that was all in FNAF 2. In his reboot, Heyday, only 1 set of murders. The Yellow Rabbit murders, June 26, 1985. So he has the original missing children incident, just as the only one. There is no second murder spree going on. The 5 victims are stuffed into the Unwithers and becomes withered when William removes their bodies from the suits. Okay.
Performing, they're already slumped in the back room going unused, making them the perfect vessels for him to utilize in secret. But of course, this is only scratching the surface of the deeper narrative buried within FNAF Heyday. We've still got minigames, secret characters, and the true ending to get to, so let's not waste any more time and jump right into the lore.
Secret characters.
The original FNAF 2 introduced us to a slew of new, seemingly important, but very confusing
Shadow
secret
Freddy
characters.
and Shadow Bonnie.
Now, I'm not going to be adding as many or even the same secret characters from the original FNAF 2, but following tradition, I think it'd be a shame not to include some. As we already have JJ out in the hallway, I still thought it would be fun to have a pair of white eyes which could be seen peering out from beneath the desk. And if you're unlucky enough, this could result in Dee Dee finding her way out and onto your desk console.
Who the fuck is Dee Dee?
Dee Dee blocks your charging port for the flashlight and laughs while she does it. Classic.
Chuck her ass across the room.
These 3 paper pals return from the original sporting a new color scheme hinting at earlier origins. And finally...
Hello. Alright, bye.
And
oh, fuck no. That ain't my computer, right? Oh, shit, no. I'm good.
Yeah, As is true of most FNAF games, FNAF Heyday will also include...
Fuck that. No, I am... I'm not going... If there's chances of me running into that, I don't want to play this game no more.
A custom night, accessible after beating the game. Different challenges will reward players with different unlockables, some of which will appear on this shelf in the player's office. You can see them displayed in the extras menu, or you can interact with them in-game.
Hey kids, welcome to Fall Fest! I'm Bomb Bomb Bunny, and this Schoolhouse's hand up my back is a wonderful video.
In the first video, I spoke briefly about an interactable phone placed in the office. Unfortunately, there turned out to be some weird video glitch, so I didn't get to discuss it fully, so sorry about that. Anyway, in the same vein, I thought it would be cool for certain elements of this office to be interactable as well, such as the desk console. You can fiddle with these controls to change which song plays when we're using the music box.
Okay, cool. Oh, it's the rest of the it's the rest of the page.
This will allow us to listen to audio logs.
Because in the last video he had newspapers clippings, and that's about the crying child's bite. But majority of it was cut out, so right there you could actually read what was going on. I'm not reading it right now, so I'll read it later.
Game. However, as I'm sure you can tell, we've got no tapes to play. Now, obviously in the full game you'd be able to find tapes and listen to them, but unfortunately I didn't have time while making this video to actually make any tapes to listen. Throughout the nights, the players can also locate arcade tokens. If the player collects one, at the end of the night they will be prompted to choose an arcade game to play.
Arcade minigame, so we can get more lore.
Hit and Run Dead. In this arcade, we play as a survivor of the zombie apocalypse, driving their way through the wastelands and trying to knock down as many shambling corpses as possible. As we're driving, we can drink collectible cans of energy drink to give us a speed boost, and at one point in the game, one of the broken sides on the roadway is glitchy. If we take this road, suddenly the car we're driving is a deep shade of purple, and it's nighttime.
I'll show him. Hey, bro, he's drinking and driving, bro. He's a true American.
Arcade 2, Malacca.
Okay.
In this arcade, our goal is to place obstructions in the way of monstrous creatures which are crawling their way out of the ground, like Whack-A-Mole meets Tetris. We want to make sure we don't block the way out for survivors, otherwise we get stunned for a moment. However, if we decide to block 3 survivors in a row and let all the monsters out, the game glitches.
Okay. Oh, is this supposed to be like the puppet's backstory? Like how the last one, it was about the missing children? How each arcade was about the missing children. Is each of these arcades just about the puppet and her origin? With Charlie and everything? Oh, and you hear the car.
Arcade fun.
Yep, it is. It is about the puppet's origins.
Uncle Bill?
What are you doing outside, dummy? You can go around the front.
I don't want them to put me outside again.
What about your puppet? Or does Daddy's machine not work?
Damn,
It's
such an
okay.
asshole.
Kids can be
He's a
so
freak and an asshole.
Uncle Bill,
Yes, Charlotte.
I'm sorry about what happened. The other kids, they say it was my fault. They said if I hadn't been such a B-word, I wouldn't have made Mike angry. And if he wasn't angry, he wouldn't have done it. But
Damn.
it doesn't make any sense. I didn't do anything. I was trying to help. It wasn't my fault.
You know, Charlie, You're a lot like your father.
Oh shit.
Uncle Bill?
Arcade 3, Dungeon
RP
Crawl.
Charlie.
Dungeon Crawl is an isometric fantasy game where the player is a wizard who has to literally crawl through a goblin's dungeon with really low ceilings. The player must send fireballs in the direction of oncoming enemies and collect treasure.
I'm the marionette, but you can call me Mary. Please remember to treat other guests with respect. Please remember to treat other guests with respect. Hi there. Looks like you wandered off. Hi there. Hi there.
Damn.
This is way too fun.
Arcade 4, One Nerd Army. This arcade is a classic side-scrolling beat-em-up. We play as a scrawny, pencil-pushing dork who's finally stepping up.
Damn, that's a buff-ass fucking kid.
And fighting back. However, we have to be careful as we only have limited stamina, so we can't face all these threats head-on. We can use our special hide ability to blend in with our surroundings and let the thugs pass us. If we use this ability and never attack a single enemy,
Oh. Oh.
Hi there. Please remember to treat other guests with respect.
Stupid thing. It's me, William Afton.
Of course, I know who you are, silly.
What?
All Fazbear Entertainment staff and animated property are legally authorized to use physical force in the state of Utah for security
get in
purposes.
here. Your stupid marionette's acting up again. Dummy. What? Kids can be so cruel.
Oh, shit.
It's me.
Damn.
What a sweet lullaby.
Charlie, Charlie, Charlie. That was our missing link from the first game.
Yeah.
We got to learn the truth behind the missing children, but we couldn't yet identify what made this spindly, zebra-striped monster crawling around the vents so special. But here it is, the truth of William's first murder. Obviously, there are still details left up to speculation, but the bulk of what happened to Charlie before and after her death is now revealed. William's fascination with the supernatural begins with Charlie, a crime of passion that results in a decade's worth of horror.
Yep. Memories.
To achieve the true ending of FNAF Heyday, the player will not only have to complete the hidden arcade games we talked about before, but also
play all 5
through
games
the
in
memories
the
of William
correct
from
order.
the week
Okay, so you can't just play it in a random order. You have to play it in the correct order. So from start to finish, so you get the stuff in order. Yeah, all right.
prior to the game. Considering we're
Discover
playing
and
as
complete
this
each memory
ruthless killer,
segment on
our
each
goals,
night.
sickeningly,
Survive
must
night
align
5.
with his, and it's our job to make sure his plan comes to fruition. To start this trip through William's mind, we have to click and drag the U icon on the map to different parts of the building, the same way we do with the toys. On night 1, we have to drop ourselves to the exit.
I don't know. I don't like that blinking at me. Modification, but I need a prototype on my desk. Over in a week or two. AR is over. Don't tell no one. Prototype. Was this him working on the fun time?
On night 2, we have to bring our icon to this small room at the end of the hall outside your office.
Hi there. You have reached the office of Ralph Burgess. Please leave a message and I'll be sure to get right back to you. Beep.
To the lucky mother/father, so it's been scratched out and the mom died. Dear Ralph, congratulations on baby Capelia. You're going to be a great dad. Diane will always be with you. Never hesitate. Call if you need. God bless you. And Capelia. Arthur. Oh, did the wife die? The wife must have died when she gave birth to her. Okay. That must be what's happening. Dear Ralph. Yarg. Oh. That's safe. Damn. That's a lot of money. Bill, as you asked, here's my card. The code is 4184. Try to be more careful with your things once your replacement card comes in. Please return this. You're welcome, Henry. 4184. Access card, Henry Emily. Company affiliate gold clearance.
This bonus item we've just unlocked will come into play later, but for now, let's keep our focus on the rest of the memories. On night 3, we drag ourselves over to the employee lounge.
Acting robotics. Make the astonishing a reality.
Henry. Just ripped off a piece of his vest for no apparent reason. Oh shit. Yeah, now that explains why they were so bloody. Oh, that's probably why he ripped off a piece. He's gonna place it in the animatronics and frame Henry. Oh, okay. Yeah, he's using it to frame him.
Please close up my tummy.
He's such a dick.
Finally, on night 4, we drag our icon to what will eventually become the janitor's closet in FNAF Anniversary, but here, it's something else entirely.
This dude, the fucking bunker, he put it underneath the pizzeria. This fucker has a whole super villain computer. He is really evil. Security records. Tapes. Oh, it's the tape that where he did the murders.
With all evidence of William's crimes erased and the blame pinned on...
Alright, let's see. Children's Revenge, Relic found. Oh, never mind. It's still on the
someone else entirely. Night 5 will begin with a secret maintenance session. Throughout the week, we perform maintenance on Freddy, Bonnie, Chica, and Foxy. And now...
Good evening. We notice you're here after hours. Putting in the overtime, eh? Good for you. Afton Robotics always appreciates the hard work and dedication of its employees. It seems that you're attempting to perform maintenance on...
Old and Freddy.
Would you like a hand with that? Good. Glad to be of assistance. If you have followed procedure, should be waiting on the platform upstairs. Please activate the retrieval button on the maintenance console to get started. It appears our system does not recognize the animatronic you're trying to perform maintenance on. This station is only intended for maintenance pertaining to approved Afton Robotics creations. Are you sure you wish to continue? Okay, let's get started. First, please proceed with any required maintenance and/or cleaning.
Remove Freddy parts, remove Bonnie parts, remove Chica parts, remove Foxy parts.
Good job. Looks good. Good job. Let's try again, shall we? Press the prompt button to cycle to the next item in your prompt package. Please use the flashlight as instructed and document results on your maintenance panel. Seems like this animatronic isn't responding to your prompts.
He just turned, because I swear them eyes were just hollow dark.
Unsuccessful or has damaged the animatronic further. Please report this failed maintenance to your supervisor so that a more competent employee may rectify it.
Oh, this is where the card gets played.
It appears you're trying to delete the contents of this maintenance session. Please confirm with your personal access code. Thank you.
After completing this maintenance session, Night 5 finally begins, with a small wristband sitting on the desk, along with a note.
To your specifications, Edwin. Who the fuck is Edwin?
Everything
honestly looks like a dog
place,
collar,
and
not gonna
William's
lie.
plan can finally come to fruition. Night 5 goes about the same as it does in the base game, with the puppet controlling the toys making their way toward the office. The night comes to an end with the puppet appearing in the office, but in this version of events, William is ready.
Oh.
You must be lost.
Damn! Freddy got them fucking paws.
But time's falling apart again. Want to help put her back together?
Oh, okay. So that was the order. Hold on, there's something at the be ending. Hold up for FNAF 3 rebooted eventually. Yellow Rabbit caught. CEO of Fazbear Entertainment charged with child murder. Authorities said the evidence is overwhelming. Trial proceeds pending. So he got away framing Henry. 43 taken into custody.
Please state your name for the record.
My name is William Afton.
Very good, Mr. Afton. Now, do you mind telling me where you were on the night of June 26th?
Oh, okay. So he got away with framing Henry. But that was honestly pretty good, I'm not gonna lie. I say that if this gets made into a game, this is gonna be way more complicated. Because from what I saw, it was so much you have to pay attention to. But it also looks pretty fun, I'm not gonna lie. And the story is actually getting very interesting. But yeah, if you guys had enjoyed the video, be sure to like on the video and subscribe to the channel. And I'll see you guys in the next video.